Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I have made. This thing is a really cool piece of technology. It is a what I'm going to call the Raspberry Pi Holo HUD. It is essentially the ability to turn a standard Raspberry Pi 4 Model B into a heads-up display. So a heads-up display like what I'm using in this case can be useful for a whole variety of tasks, such as the ability to have hands-free heads-up displays in an IRL environment, such as of course while you're working. This could be very useful in a lot of applications, and in quite a lot of cool entertainment sections too. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be trying to watch Subway Surfers or something around in the background of my video. Oh, jokes aside. Anyways, most people enjoy making these sorts of devices because it's a challenge in engineering. And my go at this has taken the opportunity to use some technology that has come on the market as of recent. So these little wee heads-up HUDs are from these things called Moto Eyes. They're usually used in bike helmets, so heads-up displays for showing speedometers and other such things that might be important to a biker while they're riding at 100 and something miles an hour. Anyways, I decided to buy one of these, and it costed me, well, a lot. Yeah, I'm talking a good old-fashioned $400. That's big, four big old beans right there for you. So what did we need in order to get this to work? Well, we need of course an HDMI cable that has an HDMI mini or micro. I think it's HDMI micro if I remember right. Here's a list of the parts that we're going to need. One of these Moto Eye units, a HDMI cable with both micro on each end, preferable, especially if it's really flexible and at least 1.5 meters in length. A set of nuts and bolts. I've got a whole bunch of like M3s and M2 sized bolts. I think I even used one M1 sized bolt and nut. A 3D printer, or someone that has one. So with that all said about printing, I got a whole new thing. And that's a sponsor for today's video, and that is Fidget Toys NZ, a local New Zealand group for other New Zealanders who want some fidget toys. Check out the link in the description and use code VULCANX for a discount on said orders. I hope you enjoy and have a great time. Mwah. A piece of aluminium, this kind of like U-channel stuff. I'll tell you where I got my piece from. A bit of electronic skills, and other than that, a heap of dedication. Let's get into it. So the first thing I did was I grabbed a large bunch of material from the dump and all that, but most of it was not needed. Oh well, that's for another project. But most of the stuff I got was, of course, things like I needed 3D filament and all that, but that's, you know, various on how you go about making your case. So, for the first part, let's talk about the case for the computer. It's just a standard Raspberry Pi 4 Model B case. I had to modify a few things just for it to work. One of which is making sure there's enough room for the plug to fit. I think a few people forget that a lot of plugs have to be right in there, like they have to right butt up against that connector, otherwise it just won't give a signal. So you need to make sure that when you've got a case that you've got printed, that it has plenty of room and clearance for the plug. Other than that, you need to make sure you've got yourself a decent connector on both ends. So how I've got it hooked up on the headset end is it's got a right angle connector that allows you to disconnect it from the actual HDMI cable. So it's going from a full-sized HDMI port to a micro on the other end. And this allows for it to easily be zip-tied onto the frame so that it doesn't get in the way. So about the frame and the actual assembly. For the frame, I actually used a piece of U-channel from this LED light that I had lying around. and I cut into it in a few different ways. One, I had to cut out the side for room for the HDMI port and the actual HDMI circuit to fit in there, like a little driver board. That had to be cut out to fit. Now, other than that, I had to make it so that it would actually go into the device. And I had to, of course, make a bracket for the actual glass lens. This lens is very easily scratched and damaged, so if you use one of these, be very careful with it. I don't know much about cleaning these things. I actually damaged mine a bit, so just be careful. So the actual display's resolution, I'm going to say it's around 4K, which is impressive for that size. The display is powered by the HDMI cable. Yes, you heard me right. It's powered by the HDMI cable. How does it do this? Well, HDMI has a pinout, I'll put it up here somewhere if I can, of an 5 volt power rail, and it can use that to power a small device on the other end. It's usually used to power like a little driver circuit to tell the screen to turn on when it's plugged into something. That way when you turn on your TV or you turn on a console or a computer, it can tell that other device to boot up. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So how else do we work on this? So what else do we do? We of course have to 3D print this little component that I had to make. This was custom measured and printed to this exact dimensions. This took me a little while, but I got it in the first go, surprisingly. The only thing I had to do was I forgot to add some holes to this bottom piece to allow it to fit in and be bolted into the frame so that it wouldn't come out. I thought the friction fit might have done it, but nah. I always make sure to bolt these sorts of parts. So how does it mount to the head? That's a simple one. I used TPU filament. This stuff is impressive. It's really flexible and prints out quite easily once I got the printer calibrated. After I fixed it, because what had happened to my printer, I accidentally whacked that thing with my controller. Yeah. Here's a video of me repairing it. So here is my original Ender 3 V2 display that got broken from VR. Yikes. Let's fix this. So first thing you gotta do, turn off the power, push up, give it a wiggle. There's just 2 pins that hold it in, and then pull that cable out, grab the new unit, put the cable in, goes this way, and just like that, you've replaced your Ender 3 V2 display. At least it wasn't too hard to repair. Enders, or the Creality series of printers, are incredibly easy to repair. At least the Enders are, for what I've found. That part was just a simple pop and drop out and plop in the new part. Like, I couldn't ask for anything more. I think a lot more stuff has to be made like that, honestly. It was about $60 worth of repair for me. But oh well. At least I got a new monitor and it works perfectly fine. Anywho's, after I'd printed that part out, this part just slots straight in and allows for sliding it back and forth to adjust it for your eyes. So it can be put onto other people's heads. You might have to adjust the strap, although that's just a piece of elastic, at least for now. But you could probably attach this by various other means to your head. It could be attached either with to a set of large goggles or glasses. It could be attached by a head mount or to a hat even. Or even inside of a fursuit head. I have actually thought about doing that. But I don't have a lot of room inside this one. I do have a Protogen head. I forgot to turn it on. It's up behind me somewhere. that would have more room for such a thing. I could technically, if I do make a 2.0 fursuit head for my Protogen, I may end up putting a heads-up display in there to give me better visibility when I'm walking around. This might also allow me to put a video recording piece of video recorder in there to allow me to record video while walking around. So I actually have a POV while wandering about and doing my own thing. That might be another video for another time, making a video camera that can fit into a few places like that. Anyways, I really did enjoy making this thing. It was a challenge in some areas. It left my head scratching in others, and I really did enjoy the idea of building a computer device that allows me to interface. But we actually have one thing we needed to figure out. How do I control it? Well, I used a very basic thing, and that is right here on the front of the desk in front of me, if I can pick it up, and that is a wireless keyboard. This little guy here is literally just a keyboard and a little touchpad. That touchpad actually works like a touchscreen on your phone, so if you're hovering over like an icon, say you want to open your web browser, you can just drag it over top and just tap, and it'll open it. It's real cool. This thing's pretty good. The only thing that's a downside is it uses a mini USB plug. Yeah. I don't know why. I even over micro USB, I would rather have micro USB. That's annoying. I do have a cable for it. It's just annoying. I have to carry around like 3 cables just to use everything. Maybe I might try and find a better one in the future. When that one dies, I might get myself a one that has Type C, and but it needs to be small enough I can fit it on my wrist, like on my arm, because that's how it actually goes. It actually straps my wrist, and I can able to use that while looking at my screen. So it's really cool combination of technologies, and I really do enjoy making that. Overall, I do think this is a pretty cool little gadget. The cost though is very steep, so I wouldn't recommend it if you are only going to make this and not use it. But I do think it's a real cool project. This is really cool. I might try and make another one of these, but with a more budget-friendly approach with the actual heads-up part. I've got a few ideas. I should have probably googled and had a look, but when I saw this component on the internet, I just had to have it a go. So next time, I might make a more budget-friendly approach. This project did not require me to do any programming at all. This required no programming skill in any part of this project. So for anyone who is like me, who just has tried programming and it's just not for them, you do not need to drag your friends who know programming into this at all. It's still a lot of fun. Yeah. I hope you're the best with this. I'll try and put a list of the things down in the description, but I can't really link things like this because a lot of these websites I buy from, if I link the actual item, it'll actually increase on price. I'm not joking. Some sites of that are pretentious. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to check out the sponsor. And also, thank you very much. I hope you all have a great day. I'm planning on making more furry videos soon enough, along with some more DIY content down the line. For now though, I'm saving up for a FurCon that's going to be happening later this month. It's going to be at 22nd of this month. I hope to see you at NZ FurCons. See you there. Bye. Wah. Wah.